Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to do something different and something that I've been thinking about doing for a while, and I don't think there's any harm in trying. So what I want to do is to talk about a couple of topics in one video. I'll try to make it as concise as possible because I know I talk a lot. I've seen some YouTubers abroad. They do this a lot. I don't really know if Nigerian YouTubers do it. I have to admit, so I can't even speak to that. But I will focus mostly on social issues like I usually do. Nigerian topics, politics here and there, and possibly also reacting to funny Nigerian TikToks because we all know that Nigerian TikToks Nigerian TikTok is a whole other universe. I want to try something new for a start, and I'll see how you guys like it. And you guys can also send me stories if you want me to react to a story or something. Send them to me and I will be very happy to talk about them. First one is dating your friend's ex. That one I saw it on Twitter because it was going viral, and I'll put it on the screen. The next one is a video of a girl. This video went viral. She was recording her parents, and her parents were saying some really crazy things to her. And then the next one is Tinubu certificate misplacing. Okay, we're going to talk about that. And I also slated in some ridiculous TikToks, but I'm trying to find the video. I can't find the video that I wanted to react to. Before I get into this video, please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you also subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified every single time that I publish a new video. So there was a tweet that somebody made on Twitter about dating your friend's ex, and people had a lot to say about it, although it was a while ago, like this is sometime in October. So the tweet said, I think that a huge part of the idea that your friend shouldn't date your ex is because you subconsciously think you own people. Unless things end terribly and your ex was a terrible person, the insistence that they don't partner with people close to you is childish. Okay. So, first of all, this is a whole lot of bull. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm actually speaking from experience. This is a whole lot of bull. I I mean, it's kind of dicey because you would expect that, okay, maybe if you've broken up with somebody, you guys have gone your separate ways, so whatever they do doesn't matter to you. But I feel like the loyalty that you should expect should be from your friend, not from your ex. I don't know if that makes sense. If my friend breaks up with her boyfriend now, she should expect me to remain loyal to her and not start dating or even marrying her boyfriend. That really sounds bad. Okay, it doesn't sound good at all. And I know that these things are easier said than done. I know that people find love in different ways. I know that, life is very unscripted. I'm going to leave room for those possibilities. But if it's a case of you knowingly getting into something with another person, your friend's ex, like, that's really bad. I don't agree with the fact that, oh, you subconsciously think you own people. No, it's not about that. And then she made a caveat here. She said, unless things ended terribly and your ex was a terrible person, the insistence that they don't partner with people close to you is childish. Completely disagree with this. It doesn't even need to end terribly. If that person is still your friend, how do you reconcile that with, okay, maybe if you guys are in the same space, you're seeing your friend talk to the person that you were once intimate with? That I don't know, that really feels weird to me. If you go your separate ways with somebody, maybe you've been dating them for a while and you guys go your separate ways, you can easily say, okay, whatever you do is not my business, and it really isn't, because you guys have gone your separate ways, and that's fine. But what makes it complicated is the fact that your friend is now I don't know, am I the only one that finds this weird? Because maybe this is just a hot take. Let me read out some of the comments that are here. I don't like it. However, I'm not stopping them from doing it because their happiness matters. If they do go ahead and be with each other, I will remove myself from both of their lives and wish them well. Yep, I completely agree. Remove yourself from their lives. Remove yourself. Moral of the story: do not be with the exes of your friends. Do not be with the exes of your friends, okay? That's really weird. Come on. So the next thing I want to talk about is this story about a young girl. I think she's maybe between 15 to 17 years old. She asked her parents for a phone, and this video was going viral on Twitter. We all know that Twitter is like the bottomless pit of hell. Okay, I feel like I have so much to say about this, and it's just weird. So let me just start.
There is nothing in this life that pointed to the fact that my future is secure in your hand. I have not seen that in I've not seen his son, and I don't deceive myself. Anybody else can deceive himself or herself. I don't deceive myself. I even thought my future, I don't know the way to deal with you. But I thank God it's not only me that I have that issue. Go and sell your body now.
Pause. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, this makes me this makes me so mad. This is the premise of the whole thing. She asked her dad for an iPhone 8, and this is what he said. According to her, her excuse is that she needs it to maybe make videos or something. And she currently has a phone, of course, because she's making this video with the phone that she has, but it's still really weird. So far into the video, her dad is saying that I don't know what my future is with you. Thank God you're not my only child. Go and sell your body now, things like that. Watching this thing for the first time was so triggering for me, because how on earth do you speak to your child like that? I personally feel like when it comes to parent-children dynamic, I put the onus of maturity on the parent and not on the child, especially if that child is a teenager. If you're like 21 years and above, I can hold you accountable to some level, but I put the onus of maturity on the parent almost all the time. And this could be maybe because I am speaking as a child because I don't have kids yet, but you would think that the parents should be more mature. You don't say things like this. You don't say things like, I don't know how my future is going to be in your hand. That's one thing I don't like about African parents. Oh God, where do I even start? Where do I even start with this? Okay, African parents are like, it's almost as if they look at children as investments. And you shouldn't do that. And this is not to say that you shouldn't take care of your parents. Of course you should take care of your parents. It's a good thing to do. It's a good practice. But when you have children and you start imposing on them from a very young age that they will be the one in charge of your retirement, will be the one in charge of your life, like, kind of just sounds like you had them for selfish reasons so that you can use them to get what you want in your old age. Somebody said something one time on Twitter that the litmus test for being a parent, I don't know if I even have that tweet here. She said that she feels like the litmus test for parenting is whether or not your children want to be around you after they are grown up and after you're done training them. Let me just say, I don't support the fact that she recorded her parents and put on the internet. I feel like people these days are probably too quick to record things and put on the internet for everybody to see. There could be reasons for her doing that. She could actually be going through a lot, and I'm saying this because I can relate to the experience of growing up as a teenager in the typical African household. Do you understand? It's not easy. Our parents are really old school, and we were here in the new generation, and we're like, you guys are so dated and everybody's using smartphones, and it's just so many disparities between their generation and ours. So I can understand where both sides are coming from, but at the same time, how can you say things like this to your child? Like, that is so wild.
Deceive himself or herself. I don't deceive myself. I even thought my future, I don't know the way to deal with you. But I thank God it's not only me that I have that issue. Go and sell your body now to buy iPhone. Your mates are buying iPhone. I said of it.
Why are you telling your child to go and sell her body? Like, why would you even say that to a minor? Why? I don't want to use the word slut-shaming. I don't know if that perfectly describes the situation, but why is it that parents and people in general, especially back home, they just resort to slut-shaming people? Why? It's disgusting. Anyway, let's continue.
I said of a pastor, what's be like every those that have admission to study medicine in their life, they don't ask for. Those that have admission to study medicine in their life, they don't ask for not doctor field. So they don't even get admission to study Yoruba. Those that get admission on platter of gold.
Okay, so he's basically saying now that, people that got admission to study medicine in school, they don't have phones, they don't ask for phones, and you're here, you've never gotten admission to a school and you're asking for phone. So in Nigeria, right, we do this thing called joint admission matriculation board, something like an exam that you take before you get to university and all that. So apparently, from what they are saying here, she hasn't gotten admission to a school yet. Now keep in mind that to get into a federal or a state school in Nigeria is very difficult. Private schools, you can't get into them, but they are expensive. So most people just opt for federal schools because the tuition is much cheaper there. but it's highly competitive and you don't get into it easily. I feel like as a parent, you should already know that that is the norm. You shouldn't have to, especially in Nigeria, you shouldn't have to shame your child for things like that. I just really hate it when parents are being hostile to children for unnecessary reasons. And for me, I'll always be on the side of the child. I'm sorry. I understand that parenting is a difficult job, but I think that in some instances you should apply wisdom. And this is not to knock off all the other efforts that her parents must have been doing for her. They could be providing for her. But a simple, like, why can't you just say, no, I don't have the money for this? Simple. But then at the same time, you could also think about the fact that, okay, maybe this child is not exactly as, I use this word very loosely, upright as they would want her to do. Maybe she's not meeting up to their expectations. Which one is go and sell your body? Okay, if she actually goes on to sell her body, is that when you're going to be happy? Anyway, let's continue.
Those that get admission on platter of gold, they will never ask for iPhone because they have future. They have aim for their life, that what matters to them is their education. Gain admission, get out school, learn kí sanwó school, come out, owó ẹ̀kọ́ dẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ jẹun, owó ẹ̀kọ́ máa jẹun, owó ẹ̀kọ́ jẹun.
What do you think? Why are you not thinking? What do you think, God for God? Why do you not like giving me pain? You can never think. You can never discuss it.
It's not until when a boy, a guy is carrying girlfriend, boyfriend, it's not until when you see that a guy is a bad or this thing. She's already corrupt. More than corruption is herself. She knows what she does on phone. She knows what she does with her body. So it's not a matter of I'm seeing somebody with boyfriend, but that is already what you want. So if they give you handout money or any money for anything, the only thing you will need to achieve is iPhone. Like you will not sell somebody's property to achieve iPhone.
Okay. So her dad is basically saying it's not only until when you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend that you be corrupt. So I don't know, Sha, for the parents to say something like that, I don't know, maybe if there is something that could have triggered it, I will give an allowance for that. And then her mom is like, oh, why do you always like giving me pain? With this kind of communication style, do you expect whatever you're saying to go through that child's head? And I'm not saying that you should only always use gentle parenting for children. Yeah, there are some times that you need to be really stern. There were times that, in fact, my parents did not do anything like gentle parenting for me. I can say that I turned out fine, but I won't necessarily employ all the parenting skills that they used for me for my own children, because I personally don't think that those things are very effective. Sometimes some things that you do will drive your children away from you, and many of our parents did not think like that because they basically raised us the way they were raised. So I could forgive them for that because they don't know better, but I know better, so I'm not going to repeat some of the mistakes that they made. However, in this situation, how do you expect this child to even listen to you or take any advice from you? And a lot of Nigerians were saying, because this was a huge topic on Twitter for a couple of days, so people were like, oh, didn't all our parents talk to us like this? But that's the problem. You shouldn't be speaking to people like this. This is wrong. This is so counterproductive. What does this do? Nothing. It doesn't do anything. Anyway, let's continue.
Why don't you even think?
Somebody who has not
You are looking for admission.
Somebody who
You don't even know where they will get the money. Even if you get admission, you don't even think of where they will see money to. What do you
not
think?
say what I want for my birthday gift is that daddy begin to save money for my admission. Don't know that belongs to only prostitution.
How can a child say, oh, what I want for my birthday gift is money for my admission? You had that child. It is your job to send them to school. It is your job to sustain them, especially if they are minors. That's your job. Your child should not come and be telling you, daddy, please, I want you to save for me. No. You can't put the onus of that on the child. I don't know if that makes sense. You can't put that kind of responsibility on the child. You're the parent. And if for any reason you cannot afford it, which is very common in Nigeria, I'm not knocking that down, then just say, okay, I'm looking for the money. I can barely even afford your school fees. I can't afford your phone right now. What happened to just why is it that Nigerians always take a very violent approach to communicating simple things with people? Small thing, they'll just start threatening you with beating, and like it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh my God.
You saw a boy that wrote white 7 times, down 3 times. He never see phone in his life. He came out with phone. Now, you have phone in your hand. You need another phone. But what you need is iPhone.
Okay, so he's saying you have a phone in your hand and you're saying you need another phone and what you need is iPhone. So I can get his argument. It's like, oh, why don't you use the phone that you have and all that? And that makes sense. You could, again, this is simple communication. I don't have the money right now. Just manage the phone that you have. If maybe you actually don't have enough and maybe you're struggling and you have children, I feel like the sensible thing to do, right, would just be to make that reality known. It's your fault, in my opinion. It's your fault as a parent if you've not made it known to your children that, okay, look, we're not as financially stable as maybe other people that you see. I just feel like the onus lies on you as a parent. You can't, how can you tell your child you're not asking for money for admit? That's a child. Of course, she's a teenager. Have you met teenagers? They're dumb. They don't have sense. Especially when it comes to things like this. In terms of, let's say, morality and whatnot, of course they know left from right, but you can't expect a teenager to have that much sense. Come on, man.
I mean, a man self can even live with an iPhone because that is your priority. That is your target.
Okay, so Haddad is saying that means a man can even get you or trap you or whatever with an iPhone. There's honestly no need for that. There's no need for that. You don't have to say that. She's coming to ask you as her dad. If your child is coming to ask you, you should be happy that she's not asking someone else outside.
You think I'll be so foolish or so daft? Or my head is not correct. I don't know what to do with money. I will buy my daughter high.
Nobody called you foolish. Which one is so you think I'm so foolish? Nobody at all. Nigerian parents will just come from nowhere and say, oh, you called me foolish because something. Stop it. Oh god, this is exhausting. Okay, this video is really insufferable. I'm going to leave the link in the description box that you guys can watch it if you want to watch the full thing. It's just 3 minutes, but I can't get through it without being so triggered. The point is that I think, yes, both parties are wrong, but I also feel like the onus of maturity lies in the hands of the parents. Okay, you cannot expect a child, of course, that's a child, that's a teenager. They're going to say stupid things. They're going to ask for stupid things. They're going to do stupid things. And it's your job as a parent to guide them through it. In some instances, you need to be gentle. You need to learn to communicate. And that's why I'm always hammering on communication. It's really important. Is this the kind of attitude? Because many people were like, oh, we turned out fine. Is this the kind of attitude that people want to take into parenting? It's going to be really interesting seeing another whole generation repeat the mistakes that their parents have repeated. You're just passing on generational trauma, and then tomorrow your children don't want to talk to you and you start complaining. Meanwhile, you're the reason. Far be it from me to be the morality police. I just feel like, be nice to your children. Okay, be kind to them. These are things that they will remember and will want to be close to you when you're old. The next topic is, okay, I actually just found this one because I want to talk about this one. I just found it in my Twitter bookmarks. So there's this lady, she posted a picture. This is just a random lady. She said, I'm going to leave it on the screen, okay? She said, I told my husband to put the soup in the fridge and he put the entire crock pot in there. Now, everybody and their moms were talking about this. And then she follows up and she says, the things that take off on Twitter. I found this funny. And then another one, she says, I can't believe 3 million people have seen the inside of my refrigerator. Comments seem divided between complete arguments or divorces as we are happily married, expecting a baby, and enjoying soup again for dinner tonight. Have a nice day and spread some good in the world. Okay, let me just first of all say that I found nothing wrong with this tweet, whatever she said, and the whole situation. I didn't find anything wrong with it because it's just marriage, it's just a relationship. It's what happens between people. In a relationship, one person makes up for the weakness of the other person. A lot of people were going off and saying stuff, oh, this is weaponized incompetency, that your husband just doesn't want you to send him on errands. And is weaponized incompetency a thing? Yes. Weaponized incompetency basically means you're asking somebody to do something in your relationship. You're asking your partner to do something for you, and your partner is intentionally doing the wrong thing so that they can get away from you asking them to do that thing. And usually those things are very simple. So people call that weaponized incompetency. Yes, it happens. It does exist, but I don't think that this was the case. Sometimes if you're in a traditional marriage, maybe you're with someone that's older, some men don't really know some things around the kitchen. And I'm not saying that that should be the norm, okay? I'm just saying that this is so harmless. It's so harmless. Like it's like when people come and say, you since girls think they know everything, what is this? And maybe they show a very weird thing that looks like a car part. Women don't really know that much about cars. It's not really our thing. That's more of a men's thing. You get? So I don't think that it was that deep, but it's really surprising to see how people project their bitterness and sadness onto other people. They started saying, "Oh, your husband hates you, divorce him. Oh, I would make sure that he comes back to do it." That's fine. You can try to teach him and say, okay, no, this is not what I wanted you to do. It doesn't take anything from you. And the fact that people were really convulsing over this thing, you really think this stranger on the internet that you don't know is going to divorce her husband because some witches and wizards on the internet said she should divorce him. People are sad, I'm not going to lie. Personally, I would expect that if I ask you to put something in the fridge, you know how to do it, because I like when men are as domestic as I am. But if you're with a man that is not domestic and that's something that you can easily make up for, it's really not a big deal. It's just, oh God, people are so bitter. So last thing I want to talk about is the whole issue of Tinubu's certificate and whatnot. So I made a video during elections in Nigeria. I'm going to link that video here. And it's a long one, but I basically detailed what was going on or what is going on in Nigeria and how the elections panned out and what we're experiencing currently. So now saying that Tinubu is not even qualified in the first place to be our president because the certificate, that is his university certificate, is forged. Okay, and this has actually been confirmed by Chicago State University, saying that no, at no point in time did they, graduate anybody called Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a man anyway. So basically, the certificate is forged. So we are getting a couple of think pieces from the Agbado Republic. When I say Agbado Republic, I mean the supporters of Tinubu. Okay, so one person came and said, the lesson in all of this is don't misplace your certificates. Now, the backstory behind this tweet is that people are saying, oh, he misplaced it and then they had to create a new one. And we're just seeing some very crazy defenses on national TV. People were saying you have the right to create or forge to forge a new certificate. I'm laughing because the video that I saw, unfortunately I can't find it now, but the video that I saw, the interviewer was just like, she was just in so much disbelief because the guy was really trying to defend the fact that this guy has a fake certificate and it's okay to forge it. Anyway, let me put this laptop down. The reason I'm even talking about this thing is just to document this moment in history. I feel like these people keep trying to gaslight us. When we talk about fraudulent leaders in Nigeria, we're talking about people who have crawled their illegitimate behinds to the positions of power that they're in. There's even one that's very, very recent. Is it Yetunde or something? That one that lied about speaking at the United Nations. Everybody knew damn well that babe was lying through her nose. And now she has somehow gotten into office and they're like, oh, make us proud, do a good job. I'm like, stop it. You cannot expect somebody who has gotten something in an illegitimate way to use that thing for good or to push the country forward. Look at where we are right now. As of today, as of the time I'm making this video, dollar is nothing less than 1,100 and something naira. Do you know how ridiculous that is? So our economy has just even plummeted between March and now, and these elections happened in February. In fact, I have no sympathy for people who are supporting Tinubu because now they're now backtracking and saying, oh, I hope we do not make a mistake voting this man in. It's just like the signs were there. He didn't give you any speech, no manifesto, no nothing, no interviews, nothing. It was just, the slogan was Emilokon, which means it is my turn. How is it your turn? It's nobody's turn to lead a country. We need you to go there, do a good job, and get the hell out. And by the way, this guy he's a vegetable. I don't even understand, like, what was prompting you to think about the fact that, okay, maybe this guy could do good. Nothing. Rethink your choices. When it comes to politics, you should be really, really informed, and not just at the federal or state level, at the local level as well. Know the people who are in your district, know the people who are in your local government is really important. You need to pay attention to these things. Know who is governing you and who is not, so that you know who to hold accountable, so that you know who to vote into office and who to not vote into office. Political apathy is a thing in Nigeria, and honestly, I don't blame Nigerians for being apathetic towards politics because everybody just has the mindset of, oh, they're going to rig it, and honestly, with what has happened this year, what happened in February this year, it's not far from the truth. Okay, Tinubu did not win that election. I stand on that. I very much stand on that. And our governing bodies for the elections are highly compromised, so they are much more inclined to, favor Tinubu and his cohorts because they have something to gain from it. Like there's an incentive for them, unfortunately, and corruption has just eaten really, really deep. That's basically what I have to say about this video. I wanted to react to one video. Unfortunately, I cannot find it. I'm just going to end this video here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, what you think about all the stories that I covered here. If you have any other stories for me, or feel free to send me a DM. You guys have my social media, my Instagram and my Twitter. Everything is always linked in the description box, so don't forget to give you a thumbs up. Don't forget to also subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified every single time that I publish a new video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.